You're listening to Evolving with Etta, where grown folks talk about life and relationships.
Hello, this is Evolving with Etta, the podcast. And on my podcast, we speak on life and relationships. Today, I'm speaking on life situations. Being 5'10 and roughly 136 pounds at age 54, most people will look and say, wow, your model size, your model height. I would love to be your size, but of course, the grass is always greener on the other side. Because all of my life, though it hasn't been terrible, all of my life, I have been working towards getting a little more toned, getting a little more shapely. I've always had nice sized legs. I've always had well formed, toned arms. Always had a little peach and never really had a stomach. So, of course, those check all the boxes. But again, grass is always greener on the other side. I've always had these things, so I've always wanted something else. That's just true honesty. So I want to say maybe about 8 years ago, I finally got to my perfect weight, shape, size, and all that. So like now, I haven't really exercised I hadn't really exercised since pre-COVID. Once COVID happened, I no longer entered a gym. Fortunately, this year I have, and I've noticed of it so quickly that I can see results again. That word, consistency, rules everything. I don't care what you're doing. Consistency is king. When you're constantly working at something on a regular basis, you get results. So, forever, I have always had to find the right pants, excuse me, that are tiny enough but long enough. Because, as well as the height that I am, I love wearing 3, 4 inch heels. Not my business. It had nothing to do with me that I'm this tall. Take that up with mom, dad, and God. So I'm still a woman. I'm going to be in my heels because I love me some heels. So with long legs, someone would consider a pair of pants length 34 inches. That's for a tall. Okay, that's for a tall that's walking around in some flat shoes. If I'm walking around in heels, I need 36 to 37-inch length pants. So the inseam is never really long enough. And I can imagine whoever could be listening would be like, oh my God, cry me a river with your tall and skinny ass. No, yes, that is an issue for a lot of females. Being skinny may not all be tall, but being skinny is an issue because I eat when I'm hungry. Being on a weight gain journey is eating when you don't want to, drinking shakes when you don't necessarily feel room for a shake, but you're trying to get the calories in to be able to consistently build on what's there. And the working out part, the toning helps, the shake helps with holding on to your. It's crazy, but fortunately, I've been watching Lala Milan. She has a weight gain journey page on Instagram. Well, Facebook too. On Instagram, it's called Fit Girl Bod. FITGIRLBOD. And so many wonderful, encouraging people are on her IG, and mostly her are on her IG She has posts that she puts on Facebook, but it's not anywhere near as active as the IG page is. She has over 100,000 IG members for Fit Girl Bod. And basically, once you join the membership, she gives you, well, you don't really have to join the membership, but once you join that particular page, you'll get access to being able to purchase you'll be able to purchase the protein shake that she has created. She has what she called Fit Girl panties. Those are the bands that you use when you're exercising. And I'm sure she'll have other products coming out as well. There are meal prep plans. And she also has a exercise workout at home guidance that you can follow that helps you with your journey. So for me, all of my life being and it's so funny how things just work in reverse for you. Being told, "Oh my God, I wish I had your height. I wish I had your size. God knows what I would do with that body. That's why He didn't give it to me." And that cracks me up all of the time, because I say that if I had big boobs, that's exactly what I'd be doing. I would be sharing it with the world. So God knew not to give me big boobs. So a lot of times people don't understand that small people suffer a lot. We get body shamed because, like, it was actually my plan to come out with small everything. I mean, but except for my feet, I have big feet. Fortunately, the long legs take away from the big feet. You don't even realize how big my feet are. But yeah, I have really long legs. My torso is not like super, super long, but I have a long torso and long legs. So it's not like my legs look like they go on for 8 days. They just, to me, I'm very proportioned because I have long arms, a long neck, but it's just like I said again, because I've always been toned, but not really as tight as I want to be. So that's something that I'm working on right now. The weight gain thing is not even going to happen. Excuse me, because on both my mom and dad's side, I have aunts that are well into their 60s and 70s and still very slim. So it's just not in the cards. But I had to learn that in order to get my head right, because I felt as long as I did these things that I would gain weight, and as long as I did those things that I would accumulate pounds. But my metabolism says no. And it's just, certain things we just have to live with and be okay with. And it's not like it's a bad thing that I'm tall and skinny. It's just that it's what I've always been. And I just want a little extra. I mean, I grew up all of my life seeing a very voluptuous, attractive woman. My mother, she was always so shapely, but my dad's genes fully took over in the slim factor. So there's really not much I can do with that. Like I said, my aunts that are years, decades older than me still maintain being extremely small in their mature age. So I'm just, I'm okay with it. But as I said, I'm back into the gym and I'm trying to add on to, just the certain areas that I'm interested in working on. So to just keep it, up, to just keep it attractive. I mean, the gravity is, one of those things that's about to start taking over. But fortunately, I haven't seen any of that yet. I just don't want to. And I just want to do whatever preventative measure that's natural that I can before any of that decides it wants to take place. So, also for being tall and small. So for me, clothing is an issue, as well as, again, like I said, people want to body shame you because of for whatever insecurities that they're going through with themselves. And it took me a long time to realize that as well. To not be happy with what God has given you is huge. That is really big. For me, I was not happy with being so skinny. I was not happy with being so tiny and so long. But I had to realize this is what God decided. This is what I'm meant to look like. So I never hated, I guess I would say, my body size. I never felt that I couldn't add to it. But here lately, it's just, no, I just want to tone what's there. I just want to, keep it tight. I just want to, stay up. And so fortunately, it's not a lot to worry about in reference to. I know so many people on the other side of the spectrum that have to deal with, other things. So I really don't complain about my size. I just want to, like I said, maintain being toned and, being. It's important to be happy with your body because you're looking at it each and every day. So, just recently, Tammy Roman spoke about, I believe she said what she has is called body dysmorphia. She's always had an issue with being small. She's always had an issue with being thin. She wanted to be skinny all of her life. And to me, I thought she was tall and thin, the perfect model size. Because if you look at Tyra Banks, she's never been without a shape. She's always had the boobs. She always had the peach. She always had hips. So for me to see that and to feel, to be super, super skinny is the thing, though, that is a lot of what models look like. But Tyra Banks did it. So I figured, people need to understand that Black women are some are much more shapely than others and have more in specific areas than others. So when I've been seeing the reports about, and also an interview that she did that really talked about exactly what that pertained and when she developed it and the things that she did because of it, I just was blown. Completely blown away. But she talked about how Hollywood didn't help, how Hollywood did not help, and negative comments didn't help. People would say, "Oh my God, you look so gauntly. You look so skinny. You look like a bobblehead. Your head's so big. Your body's so tiny." And she thought, "Good, thumbs up. I'm actually doing what was supposed to be doing because people are telling me I look skinny." And that is what I'm trying to accomplish. That is the whole function, the complete entire time. My tunnel vision is to be skinny. They're doing this reboot or not reboot, they're doing a real world homecoming, which is pretty much like a 27-year reunion for Los Angeles. And Tammy was on that one. So that's going on right now. So I just watched the first episode of that. And on the show, she's looking really frail. And she also spoke on how she has to deal with other disorders that she has as well. So in the interviews, she's discussing how she also has weight loss from diabetes. And unfortunately, with the diabetes and the body dysmorphia that she goes through, again, like I said, she's talking about how in 27 years ago when she was on The Real World, how she had her mouth wired because she wanted to be skinny, and how she's still dealing with that here and now because you are who you are. The mind is a powerful tool. So in her mind, she's constantly feeling when she looks in the mirror that she is the size of a 300-pound woman. So she cannot get past the fact that she is real thin. In her past auditions and when she was first going for modeling, there was someone that told her, one of the instructors or someone at one of the auditions that she attended, told her to look at herself in the mirror. Now, she's 5'9", said she was I was just around 120 pounds. She said this woman had the audacity to tell her to turn around, look in the mirror at herself, and said, I see fat here, I see fat there poking at her waist and around her thighs. And so this sent her into a tizzy to feel as though she needed to lose weight. So things that happen in our lives affect us forever. And there's no way in the world that anyone can deny that. Janet Jackson talked about a teacher that insulted her when she was in elementary school that still resonates with her today. She spoke about how, Tammy Roman that is, spoke about how people with any type of body issues need to be in therapy. And I so honestly agree. For if someone had sat me down many, many years ago to when I had to deal with people talking about me, oh my God, talking about my lips. If I had $1 for every time someone spoke about how big my lips are, now everyone is getting their lips injected to have full lips. God, I'd be rich. So the very things that people are talking about as a bad thing in your life, if you're listening to this and you have an issue with any part of your body, I'm just saying it is not an imperfection because none of us are perfect. It just is what it is. If it's something that you want to work on, you can work on it because you want to work on it. Don't be out here trying to improve yourself for anybody. If it does not serve you as an improvement for self, don't be out here making any alterations and changes because somebody's complaining about it. Because 9 times out of 10, those specific people were looking at you, wishing and hoping it was something that they had. It is always like that. That is always the case. Never get distracted. Never get thrown off track. If it's what you want, fine, so be it. Don't be out here altering nothing for nobody. So, with my experience here now, I just wish I could have gone back and told myself, or I just wish someone would have told me at least 25 or more years ago that once you get in your 50s, the bodies that you see in your 20s are not the same bodies that you're going to see in your 50s. Be happy with the size that you are, because there will be many changes and there will be a whole lot of crap going on around you where you're going to see BBLs gone wrong. There are so many people. It's in the news very heavily now. Jada Pinkett Smith did a Red Tables talk about it. These women have been on the table dying because they're so desperate. And why? Why in the hell would you be so desperate to do something like that to yourself? For who? I mean, I'm not saying it can happen in a gym. We know it can't happen overnight. But I'm just saying, if it's something that is so critical to your existence here on earth, get second, third, fourth, fifth opinion on something like that. It is, to me, not worth it. So many women, and here and now, so recently here, so many people are having the worst effects after their surgeries. I guess I don't know if it's where they're getting it. I don't know if it's the actual recovery, where they're recovering. And I don't know, but I'm just saying, when you look in the mirror and there's something that you want to change or you want to alter, do serious research about it. Do serious homework about it and go from there. There's no way that you have to be unhappy with what you see, but you should absolutely not put your life in harm's way because you want to make changes. Like I said, I know that being thin is what a lot of people aspire to be. And I can only see it from one side because I've only lived one side of it. So, but I'm just saying, because you feel as though you should be thin does not mean thin looks best on you. So, like I said, God gives us what he wants us to have. And if you want to make a few changes, some nips and tucks, that's so okay. So, I mean, that's what it was created for. It's your prerogative. But I just want you all to just really, I just want you to really consider if that is necessary, if that's a must for, number one, health wise. There's a lot that can go wrong. And a lot of times it's not the outside that needs to be worked on. It's what's inside, because you could get one thing done and then you can get something else done. And then you can get something just tweaked, and then you can do something to just, for the upkeep. And a lot of times it's not what you're looking at, but it's what's in our heads. It's our thoughts. It's things that were said to us, and that's how we respond to those things. We feel as though we need to do something physical to project on the outside, where that's not even where it all lies. So, yes, again, of course, that's easy for me to say because I'm on the thin side of life, and I always have been. So I can only speak to that. And the reason why I think it's important to know that is because being small does not necessarily mean I'm happy. If you go to Fit Girl Bod Instagram page, you'll see the troubles and the struggles that slim women, skinny women, girls have, because those are our genetics. Those are, basically that's how we're born. But just because that's how we're born doesn't mean that we're perfectly satisfied and happy with that, which is why, again, I understand if you want to have alterations done for happiness. You do have to be happy with, who you are and your body and what you look like. So that is extremely important. But being thin, I can just say I wasn't always happy, but I never thought to get any type of alterations or any enhancements, because I just felt, for me, that this is how I'm made to look. And I need to, just, if I want to improve or change stuff, I have to physically do that, which is when my interest in going to the gym started. Like I said, I've never been able to really gain weight. I've never really been able to say, these are the things that, let me line up these things right here. This is what I can do. This is going to help me increase my weight, because nothing just did. But in order for me to stay toned, maintain a nice size that I'm happy with, I have to be in the gym and tone. I have to lift weights. I have to use weights. I mean, even at home, when I do specific at home exercises with like ankle weights and things like that, that works, but there really isn't any comparison to being able to be in a gym and to lift weights. Yeah, that makes a huge difference. Plus, you don't have to, for me, I don't spend a lot of time in the gym because I'm not trying to turn into this miraculous muscle lady. I'm just trying to, again, stay toned. So therefore, I just need to I just need to increase the weights that I'm lifting in my little routines that I do, because only that way will I notice is what I'm doing working. And that's the only way that I'll really see results. And you have to switch it up from time to time as well. So that is one thing that I did learn, that in order for me to not be bored with working out, because that's something that I really need, I have to switch up my routine. I have to change the exercises that I'm working on. But my full concentration is lower body. I don't really do anything to work on my abs or my triceps or biceps, because I'm pretty toned. My main concern is, again, like I said, gravity. Anything that's down that can fall down, I just hope not. I'm mainly concentrating on glutes and hamstrings. My calves a little here and there, but mostly my glutes and hamstring, because like I said, I've always had a shape. Though I'm small, I've always had a nice shape. I've been lucky to have nice shaped legs and arms. So upper body, I absolutely do not do. But yes, lower, absolutely, because that's what I do not want to see fall apart. So in my journey, attempting to just keep up with what it is that at least satisfies me in this size 2/4 world. I wish there were, I mean, it's so crazy. I wish there were like size 3 out there, because 2s are almost like an extra small, and a 4 to me is like a small. So I'm very much in the middle of that. I'm not all the way in a 4, though my pants are a 4, but I'll just have to get the waist taken in, because I don't really have anything there. But the lengthwise, or for size wise, I do purchase a size 4, and like again I said, that's because that's what fits. But in the waist area, it always has to be taken in. I just feel that it's important to develop a serious sense of self, because we are created the way God wanted us to be created. And I know that doesn't say a whole lot if you're not happy with how you look. So first, work on what's inside. Says there's nothing wrong with sitting and speaking with a therapist. There's nothing wrong with working on what you physically look like. I'm just saying, don't let someone else's opinion of you be the reason why you're working on what you look like, because that one individual could come and go in a heartbeat, and you're left with these thoughts, thinking something's wrong with you, thinking something needs to be improved, thinking that you need to improve what you look like. And that could be furthest from the truth. So please don't get caught up with bad body images because of what somebody's opinion is of you. So I just wanted to speak on my experiences being thin, and if anyone can relate to this, I just hope that it gave you a little bit of a comfort level into, of course, not thinking that just because you're thin, it's going to be perfect, or just because you aren't thin, that if you get thin, it's going to be perfect, because it's not. It's never going to be perfectly to where you want it to be. Even if you think, okay, I've done this thing and I've accomplished that, now it's perfect, you're always going to say, okay, but just this one more thing. And again, if you have something done and if you have something altered, you're going to need maintenance. You're going to need upkeep. You're going to go back in. It never stops once you start that. And if it does stop and you've just done it one time, hallelujah, I'm very happy for you. But to constantly keep going in and to go back and to keep, making alterations, and I just, I just pray you don't, because it's not going to fix anything. It's like putting a Band-Aid on something. It's not going to fix anything. Just watch the Tammy Roman story. 27 years ago, she thought she was too heavy at 120 pounds. She thought she was too heavy. And here today, I believe she's 51 or 2. Here today, she feels the exact same thing and looks 10 times worse. She looks really, really bad. And she herself said, when you're going through things like that, when you're going through disfigurations in your mind, looking at your body and assuming and feeling that this is what it should look like and this is what I wish it looked like, you need to speak with a professional. I'm not a professional. I'm not saying that because that's just my opinion. I'm getting this from someone that has body dysmorphia. And she's basically speaking about how she has this issue with what she looks like. And it's the opposite of what she looks like. She feels as though she looks fat, and I see her bones coming through her skin. So it has nothing to do with what's in the mirror. It's what's in our minds. And the clarity of that is sitting down with a professional and just speaking your truth. There's nothing better than a good purge. Getting that poison out of your system when you are speaking your truth to a professional, someone that is not biased, someone that has a professional opinion that they can advise you on the direction you need to go on, that's priceless. So I just wanted to speak on this today because it is so relevant in our lives each and every day. And with this holiday season up, I'm not worried about what I'm eating. I'm praying to God you're not worried about what you're eating either, because at this point in time of the year, 'tis the season to eat, drink, and be merry. I wish that you would all enjoy the holiday season for what it's given. And it's given lots of goodies. So partake of the season. Enjoy yourselves. Have a tremendous success in conquering that, whatever that is in your head that's telling you you need to look like this or you should look like that. That's deterring you from concentrating on anything that is wonderful and great about yourself, because we forget those things. We forget how magnificent and amazing we are, because you have this thing in the back of your mind of how physically you're just not there yet. When that's the last thing that's on someone's board when they're even thinking about you or looking at you. That's the last thing that is even a focal point. So enjoy your holiday. Have a magnificent time with family and friends. Regain your relationship with food, because I'm telling you, this is the time right here and now where calories don't count. Okay? And if you're counting calories, stop. So if you listen to my podcast on Apple, Google, or Audible, and there really isn't anywhere for you to leave comments or anything like that, because my host is Buzzsprout, send me an email. Let me know if this is the type of content that you like to hear me talk about on my podcast. Am I giving you valuable information that you can grow on? Is there something else that you'd like me to chat about? Is there anything else that you are really interested in that I may be able to enlighten you on? I would love to engage with you. You can email me at info, I-N-F-O, at Etta Rosber, ETTAROS as in Sam, B as in boy, ER.com. And remember, in life, as we grow, we must change. As we change, we must evolve. To evolve is to live. It's time to get out there and start living our lives. Don't worry about what people are looking at. They can't do nothing for you. You stay up, okay? And I'll chat with you next time. Bye-bye.